Deep in the dark, uncharted jungles of Vietnam, a man lived for over 40 years, completely isolated from civilization. No human contact, no modern technology, only the dense, suffocating wilderness and the ghosts that whispered in the trees. But when he was finally found, those who saw him claimed he was no longer human. In 1972, during the Vietnam War, a man named Ho Van Thon fled into the jungle with his infant son Lang, after an air raid wiped out his family. Believing civilization had crumbled, he took his child and disappeared into the wild, never to return. Sound of helicopters, explosions, distant screams, then silence. For decades they were presumed dead. The war ended. Vietnam rebuilt. But Thon and Lang, they remained in the shadows of the jungle, adapting to a world that was no longer human. Asterisk. In 2013, villagers in the deep forests of Quang Ngai province reported sightings of a strange figure. A man, barely clothed, with long matted hair and eyes that gleamed in the moonlight. At first they thought it was an animal, but the more they watched, the more they realized it was something else. A small expedition was sent to investigate. Armed with only flashlights and machetes, they stepped into the jungle, and what they found haunted them forever. They saw a primitive hut made of tree bark and animal bones. Inside, two figures huddled in the darkness. Their eyes glowed like animals caught in headlights. One was an old man, frail but alert. The other was his son, Lang. Lang was no longer a man. His nails had grown into thick claws. His teeth were sharpened from years of gnawing on raw meat. His body moved with an unnatural agility, crouched like a beast. He had forgotten how to speak. He had forgotten what it meant to be human. Heartbeat sound effect, a sudden rustle, heavy breathing. Asterisk. When the villagers tried to approach, Lang let out an inhuman screech. He charged at them, moving on all fours, snarling like a predator. It took 5 men to subdue him. His strength was unnatural. His body, malnourished yet powerful, twisted and resisted like a cornered animal. And then, as if sensing something unseen, he suddenly froze, staring into the jungle behind them. The villagers followed his gaze, but saw nothing. But Lang kept whispering one word over and over in a language they did not understand. The only word he still remembered: the others. Asterisk. Lang was taken back to civilization. Doctors examined him, scientists studied him, trying to reintroduce him to the modern world. But he never adapted. He refused to wear clothes. He refused to sleep in a bed. And at night, he would sit by the window, staring into the darkness, as if waiting for something. Then one night he disappeared. The door was still locked, the windows were closed, but he was gone. The only thing left was a single footprint in the dirt outside the house and leading back into the jungle. Some say Lang returned to the only world he knew. Others believe he never truly left the jungle at all, and a few believe he was never alone. Gap 3 seconds. If you ever find yourself deep in the forests of Vietnam and you hear a whisper in the trees, don't follow it, because some things are meant to stay hidden.